You don't celebrate your birthday. Not because you forgot, not because you're busy, but because something in you tightens at the idea of being celebrated. And you've never had a clean explanation for it. People think you're modest, or sad, or difficult. But the truth is darker and more human. This was never about the birthday.
When someone asks what you're doing for your birthday and you say, "Nothing, I don't really celebrate," there's a pause. They laugh, they push, they ask why. And suddenly you feel exposed, like you've said too much. Because how do you explain this? That birthdays feel like a spotlight you never asked to stand under. That being celebrated feels undeserved. That attention, without earning it, makes your body tense instead of relax. So, you deflect. You downplay, you make yourself smaller. But here's the truth most people miss. Birthdays aren't uncomfortable because of cake or parties. They're uncomfortable because they ask you to believe, even briefly, that your existence alone is worth celebrating. And for some people, that belief feels dangerous. This isn't a personality quirk. It's a psychological adaptation. It often starts in childhood, not with abuse, but with emotional absence. No one asked how you felt. No one noticed your inner world. No one made space for your needs. So, you learned something quietly. My needs are a burden. Love is conditional. Attention must be earned. Psychologists call this avoidant attachment, a nervous system strategy. You became self-sufficient early, low maintenance, mature for your age. Not because you didn't need care, but because needing it didn't feel safe. And birthdays violate that survival rule. Because a birthday says, you matter without producing. You deserve attention without justification. And that contradicts everything you learned to survive. Carl Jung said, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. That's what birthdays ask for. To be seen without performing, to receive without calculating the debt. So, you opt out. And every time you do, something quiet happens. You abandon a small part of yourself, the part that once wanted to be noticed. This is invisible grief. You're not sad about the birthday. You're grieving the version of yourself who never felt safe being celebrated. So you keep doing, achieving, being useful, because usefulness feels safer than being loved. This pattern doesn't stay with birthdays. It shows up everywhere. You give more than you receive. You feel uncomfortable when people praise you. Rest feels unearned. Asking feels like weakness. Your identity becomes not needy, not difficult, not a burden. But here's the reframe that matters. These are not traits, they're coping mechanisms. You didn't choose them, you learned them to stay safe. And the unlearning doesn't start with fixing yourself, it starts with noticing, I learned this to survive. Healing doesn't mean suddenly loving birthdays. It means learning to receive without panic, saying thank you instead of deflecting, letting someone care without earning it, allowing visibility without self-erasure. It's nervous system work, it's inner child repair, it's choosing softness over survival. Rilke wrote, "Perhaps all the dragons in our lives are princesses waiting to see us act with courage." The dragon isn't the birthday, it's the belief that you're only valuable when you're useful. The goal isn't to celebrate, the goal is to believe you could be celebrated even if you choose not to be. You're not broken, you were adaptive, and now you're allowed to be whole.